North Korean soldiers captured by the Ukrainian Armed Forces, 21-year-old Baek and 26-year-old Ri, said they knew nothing about the war they were sent to. They were given Kalashnikovs and told they would have to fight the South Koreans and were ordered to blow themselves up to avoid being captured. The Wall Street Journal writes, "It is noted that Baek is mostly bedridden as he is wounded in both legs, while Ri is treating a severely wounded arm. Peck's deployment to Russia came without warning. He was trained to follow orders without question. He is a marksman, going on regular military training and deployments to other regions where help was needed on major construction projects. The day he left for military service in May 2021, he said, was the last time he saw or heard from his parents. Come back healthy, his father told him that day. Peck said he grew up wanting to travel the world but knew it wasn't an option. Last November, he was taken by train to Russia's Far East, where he says he was given a Russian army uniform and a Russian military ID. I didn't know I was going to Russia. I only realized it upon arrival, he said. The soldier was given a bulletproof vest and an assault rifle and began training. The exercises were similar to those he had experienced in North Korea, but there was one key difference. They involved drones. After a multi-day journey by plane, train and bus to the Kursk region, Peck arrived at the Russian border with Ukraine and was immediately sent to a network of bunkers near the front lines. It was at this point that he realized he was at war. I had only heard about the war before. To actually get there was surreal, he admitted. Another soldier, Ri, was a sniper in the Intelligence Bureau and said he enjoyed drawing in his spare time in North Korea and dreamed of traveling. He was motivated to fight by claims from his North Korean superiors that South Korean troops were fighting alongside the Ukrainians. In October, he boarded a Russian warship bound for Vladivostok, hoping, he said, to gain real combat experience. When Ri arrived in the Kursk region, he was told that he was taking part in the battle to liberate the Russian region from occupying Ukrainian troops. I fought as if Russia was my homeland. I don't know why, but I didn't feel fear, he noted. In early January, he was assigned to a squad of 10 North Koreans sent on an operation to block a strategic road used by the Ukrainians. They advanced on foot toward the road, placing obstacles along the way to prevent vehicles from passing. The group came under heavy artillery and drone fire. Baek felt the ground shake from the explosions and saw several of his comrades killed. He was thrown to the ground, suddenly unable to move his legs, and realized that shrapnel was lodged in them. He considered committing suicide in accordance with North Korean military protocol. You think this is what you have to do. You are expected to make your own decisions. I thought that foreigners would be very different from us North Koreans, maybe even strange. Seeing them here, I realized that there is no difference between them and us. They are all good people. I don't know if the Russian and Ukrainian troops fight for money, but we don't get any money for fighting. We get nothing from it, but it's an order, so I fought.
House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries vows Democrats will fight to protect the American people against the budget plan being pushed forward by Republicans. According to Associated Press, President Donald Trump wants the Republicans who control Congress to approve a massive bill that would extend tax breaks, which he secured during his first term but are expiring later this year, while also cutting spending across federal programs and services. House Republicans passed an ambitious budget blueprint for Trump's agenda earlier in the week. Congress has to turn the plans for $4.5 trillion in tax cuts and $2 trillion in slashed spending into a bill that can be passed by the House and Senate. Republicans say if they fail to act, the lower tax rates first approved in 2017 will expire, which would amount to a massive tax hike for many Americans. They believe keeping the tax cuts in place will partly pay for themselves, unleashing economic growth and fresh revenues, though others say those projections are optimistic. Democrats put up stiff opposition against the House GOP plan. One lawmaker dashed from California after a week's stay in the hospital and another returned to Washington for the vote with her newborn son. Democrats will spend the weeks ahead warning Americans what's at stake. Without steep cuts to federal programs, Republicans won't be able to claim the savings they need to offset the costs of the tax breaks. And without offsetting the costs, conservative GOP lawmakers won't want to vote for the final package.
Heads up.
Good morning, everyone. Earlier this week, House Democrats stood on the side of the American people. Every single member of the House Democratic Caucus stood on the side of the American people in opposing the reckless Republican budget scheme. The Republican budget will set in motion the largest cut to Medicaid in American history.
What do you make of that, and why do you think it's happening, and what should Democrats be doing?
That they deserve. Democrats will continue to stand on the side of the American people and stand against the reckless Republican budget that will end Medicaid as we know it, dramatically cut nutritional assistance for children, families, and veterans. And we will continue to stand up on behalf of the American people and against the far-right extremism that is being unleashed on the American people by Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and House Republicans. New Yorkers are not going to be intimidated by Donald Trump, the administration, or any of... Democrats are prepared to identify waste, fraud, and abuse within agencies and departments across the federal government. Every organization, every institution should be scrutinized in a manner consistent with protecting taxpayer dollars. That is not what the DOGE effort is all about at this moment. Elon Musk and the DOGE minions that have been unleashed on the American people are actually stealing taxpayer data and stealing taxpayer money. Our position in terms of the budget and any agreement that we reach in connection with the American people has to protect Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, veterans benefits, the nutritional assistance provided to children and families all across America, and the American people. Hands off Social Security, hands off Medicare, hands off Medicaid. That's not a position that is new. It's a position that House Democrats articulated from the very beginning of this Congress on January 3rd when I spoke on the House floor. Republicans have a responsibility to fund the government in a manner that meets the needs of the American people. We are going to continue to work hard to ensure that any spending agreement that is reached ultimately looks out for the health, the safety, the national security, and the economic well-being of the American people. We're focused on the core issues that matter, focused on the economy, focused on affordability, focused on the housing crisis that exists in the United States of America, focused on the fact that under the Trump administration, costs having gone down, they've gone up. Inflation is going up. What happened to lower grocery prices on day one?